Good morning. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. I thought I would spare you my singing voice this morning, but those lyrics just kind of make you want to sing them, right? Those famous words from the Beatles song have been open to many interpretations over the century or over the decades. But for us today, I think we can look at these words through the lens of the gospel and help us understand the message. It's a message of the greatest moment of Mary's life. She stands before the angel Gabriel, and Mary changes the course of history with her fiat, her yes. The surrender to become the mother of Jesus. This is Mary's greatest moment, greater than giving birth in Bethlehem. It's greater than standing at the foot of the cross, greater than being assumed into heaven. It is her greatest because without her fiat, her yes, these events don't happen. It's in this moment Mary proclaims her greatest prayer. Let it be. Let it be done to me according to your word. A moment in time that has influenced all of Christian history. And in her obedience to God, reveals herself as the first and greatest disciple. Mary provides a model that we're called to follow. Mary's prayer reveals the foundation of our Christian life, and that is in saying yes to God's will. She's our model because for us to believe, we too must surrender to God's purposes. Following the example of Mary is not easy because all of us want to be in control, especially during this difficult time we live in. We seemingly don't have control of our lives. It makes it difficult. We all want control. We want to be in control and call our own shots. We want to decide when and where we go somewhere. And with the best of reasons and intentions, we want to bring about good things for ourselves and our families and friends. And so when things happen that we cannot control, when hurts occur in our life that we cannot heal, when troubles come that we cannot escape, our life is thrown into emotional and spiritual turmoil and confusion. We lose sleep. We're filled with anxiety. Our stomachs churn. And sometimes it can feel like we're beating our heads against the wall, all because we cannot determine what we should do. But Mary tells us what we should do. Let it be. Surrender. Surrender to God. We know that to follow Jesus, we must accept those things in life that we cannot control or change. I'm sure you've all heard of that prayer called the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Surrender is truly the foundation of our Christian life. But we must understand that surrender is not neglect. Surrender is not letting God do it and avoiding our own responsibilities. We have to be aware of opportunities in our life. If there's an opportunity for reconciliation, for healing, for growth or understanding, we need to recognize that in that moment, for us, we need to surrender to God's will. We must take responsibility and do what is right, but we also know how often things are not always clear and that we don't see a viable option. There's nothing that we're able to do. And it's important that in those moments, we must also surrender and let it be. Surrender is not throwing in the towel in some desperate act of frustration. Surrender is not giving up. It is handing over. handing over to God, it is let it be. As believers, we understand that there are things we cannot do, but God can. There are things we do not understand, but God does. And there are many times that we are not in control, but God is. As believers, we should take what is impossible and let it be and hand it over to God. We should take what is unclear and let it be and hand it over to God. We should take what is painful and let it be and hand it over to God, realizing that God can do what we cannot. So remember, when we leave today and we return to the busyness of life and the holidays, let it be. Surrender is trust. So if there are troubles and divisions in your family which you cannot heal, surrender them to God who can. If there are people in your life that you cannot change or protect from harm, entrust them to God, who will not abandon them. If you wake up yet another morning with a pain that you cannot relieve, hand it over to God, who will carry the burden with you. When you find yourself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to you, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in your hour of darkness, she's standing right in front of you, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Mary points to a truth which only faith can see. There will be an answer. Let it be.